welcome to my review of the Yuba Kombi E5 electric. We are here in Brighton, south of England, UK, at the Dyke Road Park. You can see there the sea. It's a beautiful evening, so that the sea there, specifically the English Channel. Those of you who like electric bikes review probably will recognize the style of my review. I'm basing it on electric bike review ebr.com course style. It just left EBR, which is a great loss for the site, but he is the maestro of electric bikes reviews, so I have probably 10% of his knowledge, but I'm gonna use his style because I think he's the best, really the best guy at reviewing bikes in general and electric bikes in particular. Okay, so this is the Yuba Kombi E5 electric. So this is not a new model, it was out in 2021, so I've had this bike for more than 2 years now, and surprising there are not many reviews around, just very short ones. So I want to just take you, as Kurt would have done, take you through the different part of the bike and then show you the bike while I ride it, and just let you know a couple of things. Okay, so you can see this is an orange color, and you can also have it in a gray color, okay, silver color. Okay, so we start with the core of the bike. So this is the Shimano motor. It is a Shimano Step E5000. Okay, so I tried Shimano motors years ago on different bikes, and I was not very convinced about them, but this one, so let's say Shimano motors after 2020, they are much better. I would say on a par with the equivalent Bosch, sort of very close, not on a par, so this is very good. And this one in particular, the Shimano Steps E5000, has a power of 40 Newton meters, so it is equivalent to the Bosch active line. Okay, so this is the core of the bike, and with it we have a battery. Okay, with the key here, this is an indicator of its status is charged, and this is the way to put it on and put it off. So the battery capacity is 412 kilowatt hours, so very similar to the classic, the entry level Bosch one at 400. Okay, now to stay at the center of the bike, we have a Yuba branded saddle, which is very comfortable and adjustable. And to start, you can use this bike basically from 1 meter and 50 centimeters up to 195. This is very typical of this sort of cargo bikes. Turn similar, a similar range, and sorry for those of you who don't do metrics, you'll have to convert this in imperial. Okay, so we go towards the back of the bike, and this is one of the most important bit of the bike, which differentiates it from the competitors. So the monkey bars here, they are not fixed. Okay, they are not fixed, but you can remove the two. First of all, they are adjustable. Okay, so you have very small children, they can use this one, put their little hands on this one. You can then remove these two internal bits here. You can just use, when they grow up, you can just use the two external ones. Okay, and you can remove those bars. Okay, and then if you have older children or an adult, and they can just grab the hand here or put the back here. So very simple, and you can use them to put some load here, a box. I've been putting a lot of things on this bike here. Okay, now so this is a long tail cargo bike. Okay, rather a mid tail cargo bike. Okay, the overall length of the bike is 191 centimeters, so it is a bit longer of what is the benchmark for mid-tail cargo bikes, which is the Turn GSD, okay, which is 180. So it is a bit longer, but they have a similar space here in the rear rack, which is the most important part of a mid-tail or long-tail cargo bike, because this is where you put most of the cargo. Okay, so this has a total length of 78 centimeters, and what they call the usable one, although when you have you're loading you're carrying something, you can put them straight away to here, of 60. Okay, 60, very important, and you have 61 for example in the Turn. Okay, Here you have what they call the soft spot. Okay, these are for sitting 2 children, and in order to get them you need to get this add-on, which is a bamboo bar here, which has also some places where to put the Yep Maxi, without need of an adapter. Okay, so the rack, I was telling you about the rack, the most important bit. This is supposed to carry up to 100 kilos, which is an important information about mid and long tail cargo bikes. You want to know how much you can carry on the rear rack, and I've carried 2 big children, adults and so on. It is integrated in the frame, as you can see, so it gives a sense of sturdiness there, something that is not gonna fall if you put a bit too much weight on that. Okay, so the rear wheel, as you see, is covered by this skirt, which is a plastic one. It gives adequate protection. Obviously, if you have little people here, they are not going to put their hands into the wheel. If they have some clothing or something loose, it is not going to go in, so it protects well. It's sort of stop here, so it gets dirty around here. I think is something about the geometry of the bike. Kurt always said about the geometry of the bike. So talking about the geometry, you see here, as I said, there is an integrated rear frame, and there is some space here, some space from a screw here, so possibly to put an extra battery. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so we go to the tires. The tires, there are some, so the rear one, there are both of them, it is a 24 inches bike. So this compare, for example, to the Turn, which is a 20 inches one, and these are 24 per 2.24 per 2.5 inches. So it's we are onto some sort of fat bike. They're very, very comfortable. They have a little tread. They are okay. I've been using them on rain, and they are okay. Okay, now this bit as well. So here we have a rear lights. Now for carrying the children, and also to carry some load here, this is very, very practical. So I wanted just to say before that you can easily put some pannier here. For some of my panniers I have to remove, it's very easy, the 2 soft spots to put them out, but you can put them here, and I can also lean onto this one if they are a bit too heavy. So now the basic version will come with some pegs here, so the children will have just to put their feet here, but I added this bamboo bar, which are quite cool, very, very simple, very handy, and very look when you are carrying something, because you can use this, holes here with some elastic bands to secure your load. And now there is also a new add-on, which you can see on the Yuba website. You have these bamboo bars here with a hole here where you can put the wheel of another bike, and you can carry some children's bike with you when you are up and around. Okay, hydraulic disc brakes here, front area, so some good one. I think the rotor there is 180 millimeters, so a good one. Okay, by Shimano. Okay, now I go back to this side. I hope I have a good light. Here you have the cassette and the derailleur. If you can see them, it's not very easy with the bamboo bar. These are both by Shimano as well. Okay, and here you see the other bit. Okay, the other side of the motor with these Shimano pedals. There is a very good and sturdy stand here, very, very good. I put a lot of load on this one, and it is quite good. Okay, I'm gonna stay on this side for a better light. So I talked to you about the battery. So I said I go back just to show you. So 191 centimeters weight. On the lighter side for this sort of carbo bikes, about 29 kilos. Okay, so it's Turn GST is more heavier, and then I'm going to tell you about some of the alternatives later on, which are heavier as well, and sometimes longer, but they don't have as much space on the rear rack, which, as we said, is the most important bit. Okay, now we go here to the handlebar. We have a reflector here, just simple back here. So important bit. So this is a Shimano Alivio, so one of the entry-level Shimano gearing system. It's 9 speeds. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay for this type of bike. I've been using it and enjoying it. Okay, here you can regulate. In terms of riding position, is fairly upright. I would have preferred it to be a bit more upright, but you can always adjust here. But it's okay. Yuba is should have said before, it is an American company based in California, and in Europe, for example, the main center is in France. So possibly used people using mountain bikes and so on. But it's not is not really the same riding position as a mountain bike, but it's not as upright as a typical Dutch or European bike. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on. This is the display. So this is very, very similar to the Bosch Purion display. Very, very simple. I have there, everything in kilometer rather than miles. You can change here. You have range, distance, the odometer. Here you have 3 levels of assistance, okay? And here you have a button for the light. Now, in some other bikes I have, or I used, I had the Intuvia display, which is much better. What really I think is missing here is the time. I'd like to see whether I'm late or not, and to see it there, and also to see something that says that the light is on or off, especially because I often use the light during the day as well. You also have a walk assist here, like in the typical Bosch system as well. So it's quite equivalent to this Bosch system. And as I said, the motor has a power of 40 Newton meters, so equivalent to the Bosch active line, which is okay. I carry often Brighton is a very hilly city. Sometimes I struggle when I have 80 kilos of load there, but it is okay. It is okay in a reasonably hilly city. But if you live somewhere like San Francisco, probably you want to to have something a bit more powerful. And there are some Yuba models that are more powerful than this one, starting from the new Yuba Kombi E6, which has a Shimano motors with a power of 60 Newton meters. And I'm gonna prepare, so if you keep an eye on my website, I'm gonna write a longer article about comparison of the new mid-tails and long-tails cargo bikes, so you'll have more information there. Okay, so hydraulic braking system here, Shimano. Okay, now to the front. This is something I hesitated a bit when I was considering accessories, because it was quite expensive, at about 200 euros, 200 pounds, $200. This is the bread basket. I think now this is not called the bread basket any longer. There's a new name. Yuba websites, both the American one, the European ones, are not always easy to navigate, to understand, but there are a lot of add-on. And as I said, the first one, very cool bar platform here with the hole where you can put the front wheel of a children bike, and you can go around. When the children are tired, they can sit and stop pedaling. Okay, now this is the bread basket. Okay, this is quick release system. The capacity of this one is 28 kilos. I put everything there. Okay, absolutely no problem. It is integrated to the frame, so it doesn't really affect your steering. It is very good. It comes with some other extra accessories. You have a liner, and now you also have a box which you can put that you can lock. Okay, so it's very important if you often leave the bike unattended and so on, and you want to leave things there. But I said I was a bit reluctant. I thought, okay, I'm gonna put a simple basket or something like this. This is very good, so I'm very, very happy. I spent 200 euros and pounds on this one. It is a very good one. I've used it a lot. I just bought the simple net, the ones you find for motorbikes for the helmet, £5. It's very good, and I can carry a lot there. And as I said, it does not really affect the handling of the bike. Now, I was forgetting about this, which now I forgot the name, but this is something that keeps the bike, the wheel in position when the bike is on the stand. And unless it is very, very tight, it does not affect the bike. It's something called the defibrillator or something like that. I read it. I forgot it now. Front, Shimano disc brakes, hydraulic, same size of the wheel, 24 by 2.5 by Maxus. It's a nice one. It looks cool. Okay. Now, when you have the bread basket mounted, okay, you can then move the light here, so no interference here. This is quite of a good light. I'm gonna put it on if the bike is on. Yes, you also have a sidewall here, so it is also visible from the side. Okay, so it is a very good one. Okay, now wanted to show you another thing. So around this way, so here is a space for a cable lock, which I didn't buy. It was about 30 euros, 30 pounds. Decided not to. This is similar to the ABOS or AXA frame locks that are in plenty of other cargo bikes, other bikes, touch bikes especially. Normally you have the same keys with the battery. I didn't get this one. In terms of accessories, there are some new ones in some of the Yuba bikes. You can transport surfboards. As I said, you have a closed box here, locked. You have now a recycled plastic things made in France for, carrying things here. Now what I'm probably going to buy is what they call the monkey bar tote. So it's a sort of bag that you put here, and then you can, carry things here, so you can just throw there, fruits, veggies, or when you go shopping. Okay, so you have a rear reflector there, where if you have, people here or load, not very visible, but you have the light here. Okay, so price, it is now about £3,000 in the UK without accessories, 3,000 euros, 3,500 euros in the EU, and $3,300 in the US. Okay, so I mentioned a couple of times the Tern GSD, which is the benchmark for me of mid and long mid-tail cargo bikes, which is much more expensive with different specs, in particular a more powerful motor, but it depends on your budget and what you want to do with the bike. I think this one is much better than some of the competitors in similar prices, like you have the Decathlon Elops, which is sold in Europe for a tiny bit less, but with a rear hub motor. So I would avoid rear hub motors when you have a cargo bike. Much better to have a mid motor here, much more fluid. It follows your pedaling, much better. Same for my cycle, which is sold in UK. £2,500, but with the rear hub motors as well. And you have the rad power in the US now. There are, it is still sold in the EU, but we don't know from how much longer. And I think the rad power, the specs are, it's cheaper, but the rad power hasn't got the same specs as this one. So definitely I think this one is better. Okay, so 3,000 as I said, and obviously the monkey bar. There is now a family package put in the monkey bars, the soft spots, the bar here for about €350, and you have different spots, different accessories now, adds what they call adds-on. So £200, $200 for the bread basket, which, as I said, I think it's a plus and very, very good. Okay, so just the last thing, I'm gonna then show you a couple of images of the bike riding, also for you to see the noise coming from the motor. Okay, okay guys, so I'm pedaling in this one of the best cycle ways here in Brighton, along Old Shoreham Road. Okay, I'm not sure you can hear the noise of the bike, but you can see the bread basket there, you can see the speed there. Everything is okay, speed is okay. As I said, not the best. Thank you very much for being with me, guys. Thanks for listening to my review. I'll pop all of the info in the box below and use it if you have any question. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.